Hi everyone, I'm Wafa Langao and welcome you all in Grammar in Detail. If you are new and not subscribed the channel, so subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to get some more videos about grammar in detail. Today we are going to discuss the ditransitive or write from active voice into passive voice. Before starting it from active voice into passive voice, we will have a little glance on the definition of ditransitive verbs or the ditransitive verbs. D or die means to, and transitive which can be changed into passive voice, and verb which shows an action. So definition is quite clear that those verbs which need two objects and can be changed in passive voice into four ways. How many ways you can change them? Into four ways are called the ditransitive verbs. Now ditransitive verbs need two objects. One is called the direct object and one is called indirect. Direct object means all non-livings and indirect means all livings. Now why they need two objects, we will discuss it in our verb write. If I say he writes a story, a question arises, for whom does he write a story? If I say he writes me, so a question arises, what does he write me? Means what does he write, or that the sense even it is not complete. So he writes me, definitely he cannot write me. So he writes a story, whom does he write? Here there will be a question mark, that whom he is going to write, and here definitely he cannot write me. I am not a notebook or something, a story that he will write me. Clear? So for that we need the two objects together with one indirect object and one direct object. Like if I say he writes me a story, if I say he writes me a story, so the story is written for me by him. This is what that is way to it will give the complete sense. If you want to bring the direct object at the beginning and indirect object at the end, so you will be using a preposition with it. Suppose I say he writes a story for me. So this is what a story is written for me by him. So it can sometimes take the preposition to you. Clear? So that meaning will be changed, that we will be discussing in the next slide. So according to the usage you will be using the preposition. If you don't use it according to the usage, the meaning and the sense won't be clear. So you need to care about that. Is what I'm teaching all the ditransitive verbs, how to change them from active voice into passive voice. So these all we will be discussing. Clear? From teach to cost, we will be discussing all of them from active voice into passive voice. So let's begin. We are going to change the ditransitive verb must from active voice into passive voice. Modal auxiliary must we will change from active voice into passive voice. First we will little bit discuss modal auxiliary verb must, and then we will go towards the changing sentences. Must is a modal auxiliary verb, like we have been discussing them. Must is the modal auxiliary verb. It is used for obligation. Let me change the color of the pen that is not visible over here. So we will be selecting here the green color. Now modal auxiliary must we will be using over here. Why do we use must? Keep in your mind, must is a modal auxiliary verb, and we use it when it is used for an obligatory, and when an action has got 100% authority or 100% necessary for you to be done, there we will be using modal auxiliary verb must. And we will make the sentences of modal auxiliary verb must. Let's begin. Active voice and passive voice. We must write them letters. We must write letters to them. Clear? So this is what there are two ways to change them. To them means to we have to send them. Clear? And if I say for them means they cannot write and we have to write for them. So the meanings can be in different ways. Different preposition it takes. It you can use two prepositions with it. If you say you must write you must write letters for them. If I am saying for them, over here keep in your mind, it means that they are not eligible, you need to write for them or we need to write for them. And if to them means they are waiting for the answer or we are going to ask them something, so they are waiting for our letters to be answered, or sometimes they may ask our questions, what they demand is or what we demand, so you can put them in different ways, they will give the different meaning. So we must write them letters, we must write letters to them. In passive voice there are 4 ways to change the simple sentences of modal auxiliary verb must, and simple sentences which make simple statement. They must be written by us, letters, they must be written letters by us, letters must be written by us to them, letter must be written to them by us. Negative sentences, those sentences in which we deny the statement. We must not write them letters, we must not write letters to them, letters must not be written by us to them, letter must not be written, they must not be written by us, letters, they must not be written letters by us, letters must not be written by us to them, letters must not be written to them by us. One thing should be noticed, we bring the first indirect object in second sentence as well, indirect object, then the direct object in third and fourth sentence. And keep in your mind, by us comes at the beginning, letter at the end, letters at the beginning, by us at the end, by us at the beginning, for to them at the beginning, at the end, to them at the beginning, and by us at the end. So this is the way to change them from active voice into passive voice. Next we have got interrogative sentences, those sentences in which we ask question and put queries. Must we write them letters? Must we write letters to them? Must they be written by us, letters? Must they be written letters by us? Must letters be written by us to them? Must letters be written to them by us? Next we have got, now we will be discussing the formal sentences of the ditransitive or right in modal auxiliary verb must. Must we not write them letters? Must we not write letters to them? And there are 4 ways to change the formal sentences, and we have already discussed that those sentences in which we ask question, deny the statement, and we ask them in a formal and polite way. Must they not be written by us, letters? Must they not be written letters by us? Must letters not be written by us to them? Must letters not be written to them by us? Informal sentences, those sentences in which we ask question, deny the statement, and we ask them in an informal way are called informal sentences. Mustn't we write them letters? Mustn't we write letters to them? Mustn't they be written by us, letters? Mustn't they be written letters by us? Mustn't letters be written by us to them? Mustn't letters be written to them by us? So these are the formal and informal sentences of modal auxiliary verb must and ditransitive verb right from active voice into passive voice in 4 ways. Hope you got today's lecture. Wish you best of luck and see you with next lecture. Goodbye.